So mental imagery is very interesting. If you haven't come across it, just a few pictures. It's a language by which the mind, the thinking mind, the cortex, communicates with the deeper parts of the mind and the body. And people have used imagery to imagine a return to health. And here are a few pictures patients have drawn. This is a lady showing her reaction to the breast cancer surgery. Gives you some impression that words can't of the amount of pain that's causing her. And this is herself afterwards, the butterfly emerging from the cocoon, an old archetypal image with her friends around. There's a male image. Men do very different pictures from men. He's going through the cancer car wash, you see. So he's getting, I forget, chemo, T-cells, and the healing journey in order as he goes through the car wash and out the other side. This is from the National Geographic, an electron microscope picture. These are killer T-cells, kind of lymphocyte, attacking a cancer cell. And sometimes, for some cancers, T-cells can punch a hole in cancer cells and kill them. And so we show pictures like this, and it provides a basis for those who want to use a more quasi-realistic imagery. This is one lady who did. She's shown her cancer cell, a cancer cell being surrounded by these T-cells and also by another kind of defensive mechanism called the natural killer. And the light coming down, we do a light exercise at the beginning and end of each session to soften it up. And the poor old cancer cell, what she's telling herself really is this cell doesn't have a chance. But I think that's, if you can really believe that, that's a helpful thing. Not to be Pollyanna about it, but to feel, well, I really do have important, strong defences in me. If I could just bring them to bear on my cancer, it might make a difference. It's a lot better than feeling completely helpless, which is how people feel when they get the regular medical treatment only. By contrast, that's a young woman who felt that nothing could affect her cancer. It's a negative image. I talk to these people, so I have some confidence in interpreting them. And she's drawn a soccer ball, and nothing can really get at it in her view. That was how she portrayed it. And this is a woman who also had a very negative initial view. She had metastatic malignant melanoma throughout her abdomen. She was ready to die, according to the doctors. This is her picture of her overcoming cancer. It always amuses me because look at this pizza empress here. And she's hit the ball in the double score. This is the way that imagery can often portray what people don't realise they're thinking. And you can point that out. We point that out to people, and they have the option then of adjusting it. Of course, it's up to them in the end. And she did survive. She's still around. It's wonderful. I think I'll skip over that. So meditation is part of what we teach. Again, non-sectarian way. There are many schools of meditation, of course. This is the kind of thing people discover when they learn meditation for the first time. Very still. What comes through is direction, peace, love. Yeah. Not everyone likes meditation. This is a cartoon from the New Yorker. So if you're one of those, don't worry. There are all sorts of things you can do. You can do Tai Chi or Qigong or yoga or a lot of other things instead of meditation if you don't like the sitting and watching. Although it's a pretty basic technique, I have to say. So now if you're someone who's a therapist, I know there's some therapists here, you're thinking, is there something in this particular program that you might like to introduce in your own setting? You'd probably want to start with levels 1 and 2 rather than the whole lot, I think, unless you're very, onto it. And so it's separated into 2 stages. You'll find that very convenient administratively, and as I said, to help people make up their minds. Is this for them or not? And these 2 levels teach ideas that are in wide general use in psychotherapy. Nothing radical there, really, even though it may be new to some. Works in groups of any size. It's helpful. You can have a support group followed by a didactic period. And you can have 100 people if you want. Very cost-effective, 1 leader. And this has all been well documented. Effectiveness alleviates suffering. There really is no great surprise. And I don't think that most health professionals, whatever their politics, would disagree that people can be helped by learning these basic coping strategies. I think we're in the realm of fairly obvious basic stuff. Just doesn't get done in the busy medical clinics. That's the problem. For those who want to move to level 3, these people need to have a bit more commitment because it requires a willingness to look at things in oneself that are not necessarily immediately very creditable. like all the judgment that I mentioned, like all the guilt that you discover when you first go to therapy or do a class like this. So the content is mainly identifying and diminishing these blocks. Lack of self-esteem is at the root of many human problems, and it's certainly true in cancer patients. Horrifying, the kinds of things that people come up with, because I have them write and send in accounts. They can be a little anonymous, and I write back letters to them or talk to them. And I know other leaders do the same. And people have such crazy ideas about their own lack of worth. And as a therapist, those of you who are therapists, you can do a lot just by your acceptance of people to help them overcome, or at least alleviate, that deep sense of shame that afflicts so many of us in this society. And that's, I think, I can't really support that with data, but I think that's a very strong element in any healing program. Working towards forgiveness of other people, it's actually an easier place to start than on yourself. Regular practices are advocated at this level. We teach more kinds of meditation to give a choice, sort of smorgasbord. And there's data on the fact that, this, to summarise, just says that people can improve still further when they come to level 3. They haven't reached a plateau. Level 4 is a consolidation. It's based on our study of remarkable survivors, which I'm about to come to. But in brief, the 3 qualities we found these people have: authenticity, autonomy and acceptance, which tends not to be found. People are not remarkable survivors. Okay. Level 5, beginning detailed study of the spiritual. And that requires, I think, unless you're an enlightened sage yourself, which we don't have any of those in our program, you need to rely on the writings of such people. And it's all available for us now, which is wonderful, various texts. I like A Course in Miracles, not everyone likes that. A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, I wonder if some of you know that. Tolle's books, wonderful and very accessible. We like Eknath Eswaran, my own spiritual teacher was Swami Radha, various Buddhist authors. A lot will depend on your own experience as a leader if you're running this. Find something that's useful to people and then study it in a number of sessions, and keep up with the meditation and all the rest of it. And this is a diagram by a lady who died a couple of days after this, but she wasn't a religious person, but she felt that she was standing firmly on the earth, held in the embrace of Divine Mother. She didn't go for a patriarchal kind of God. She had Divine Mother, blue light all around, green earth, all the rest. Lovely picture, isn't it? She was very peaceful. That's what we hope. That's the main purpose, I guess, of this program, is to help people achieve that peace of mind. And if they're going to die, if they must die, then to die at peace. And everyone around them too. Now, if they can affect the disease, great. We'll come to that. This is another woman who had experience of Jesus. She was a Christian. Took him with her everywhere she went from that time on, into the clinic, at home, walks in the bush, and so on. That's a very fine device. Really what's happening is you're accessing a part of your mind, I would say. Perhaps there's something from outside, but certainly accessing a part of your mind that is a healthy part, will help you live in peace. And we do ongoing discussion groups with people who've graduated from level 3 or above. I'll spend more time on that.